that eat dinner because I was just finished watching the State of Play. That State of Play was dog shit once again. It was better, but if I give this one the State of Play a rating, it's a 5 out of 10 because they showed the Fortnite controller in Lego Fortnite and Ghost of Yang. That's the next Ghost of Touchdown, Ghost of Yang. But other than that, it's a 5 out of 10. Because the first State of Play I made, that was a 2 out of 10 for me. That State of Play was bullshit. No, no first parties. Oh man, no first parties. And they even showed the same game, the same cross-gen game for the State of Play, y'all. It's not looking good for Sony right now. Sony is done. No PS6 for sure. It's done now. So it's down to me getting that Xbox One or Nintendo Switch. But anyways, they didn't have no. And I called it. Did I call it right? Did I call it right? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Oh man, no first parties. And everybody's waiting for that showcase. And that showcase, they said the showcase wasn't moving. The showcase, it said it's supposed to be showing it the summer. So that's kind of wait for them to show a showcase in the summer. When you think they should have showed it a while, the middle of this year, but they wait until the summer to show the showcase. They said in the summer. They said that's just a rumor. But anyways, they even showed the first one. They showed all remakes and reboots and remasters. And did I call it right? Did I call it right, John? Did I call it right? So yes, I did. Yes, I did. No first parties. And I said that in my first two videos earlier this morning. Whoever that was watching Count John, obviously, if they were watching, no first parties. First parties. Oh, man, no PS6. And you know why, too. Because if they did make that, how they was going to make the PS6 without no first parties? It's not looking good for Sony right now, y'all. Sony is done. I know a lot of my reliable sources are going to probably talk about this tomorrow, too, and Thursday and Friday coming up as well. Did I call it right? Did I call it right? No. No first parties. They didn't show no first parties at that State of Play. Only so I give it a heaven and hell rating because they showed Ghost of Yang, which is continuation from Ghost of Touchdown Part 1, obviously, and they also showed the Fortnite controller like a Fortnite. But other than that, they had no first parties. Did I call it right? Did I call it right? And I told them all the earlier in my first two videos I made earlier this morning in the afternoon. Did I call it right? Did I call it right? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So you can't debate me on this, the amount on this as well, and my cousin as well. But anyways, no first parties until May. That's even if they make the first party, which is very unlikely. And without those first parties, Sony is in deep. And you already know what that means for Sony. Not just no PS6 as well. That could be the end of them making consoles. With Sony making consoles, period. Point blank. That State of Play was better, but it was not like the one from May. The one from May was terrible, but the other one was mid or heaven and hell, and that's just my review on it when I was watching it earlier on my phone. But anyways, it's not looking good for Sony. No PS6, y'all, for sure. And I'm almost certain there won't be no PS6. And if they show the showcase, that's gonna be kind of for them. It's gonna be kind of late for them to show the showcase because they should have showed it earlier in the springtime, like one of my reliable sources said, and they didn't do it. So it might be no showcase this year, and hell, it might not be no showcase going into next year. I know they want to say, I know too much. You know this with I guess. I said, well, I called it right on the State of Play earlier because I told you in my first two videos earlier this morning and afternoon, did on there as well. I know about Ghost of Yang, and that's the sequel continuation from Ghost of Touching upon Ghost of Yang with that one that fights a female samurai. But anyways, no third parties. And you already know what the first one. They want Microsoft, so it's down to for me to either get Nintendo Switch or Xbox One console. It's for me to play the retros and the indies in all three Batman games. Well, Arkham Knight I got free part of Game Pass. I just got to buy the other two, obviously, in Burn Revenge and the retros and NHL Answer, AI, Stellatum. Buy the retro games for Capcom Arcade Stadium. Got to buy the Yu-Gi-Oh DLCs for Yu-Gi-Oh Legacy Duels for Xbox One. Gotta buy the cosmetic for Ultra Strip or Super Strip Ready form and Ultra. I gotta buy the add-on, then buy the cosmetic at the upgrade Ultra Strip Ready form. Anyways, at the arcade edition first, Super Strip Ready 4 arcade edition first. Anyways, gotta buy the cosmetic for Ultra Strip Ready 4 as well. That's the only issue, but it's nothing to it because some are expensive, some are not. But anyways, for all the cosmetics. But anyways, and then I gotta buy Soul Calibur 6 and the 6 add-ons. The 4 add-ons, not the 6 add-ons. I meant to say the 4 add-ons I got on Sony. I have to get back again on Microsoft and Xbox One. So it's down to Xbox One. So decision time comes October 31st. Just you wait. Just you wait. If I get either one, it's a wrap for Sony. Because if I get Xbox One on Nintendo Switch, off eBay, or Xbox One on Porsche, my pin of it's still there. Obviously, it's a wrap for Sony. Or if I get the Xbox One off of eBay, the all digital edition, if I can find it for the lower price or the lower price of what it's worth, it's a wrap for Sony. Sony is done. Sony is done. Cause it, cause it did it. Oh man, didn't show no first parties. And while those first parties, Sony is in deep again. And without those first parties, Sony is suffering right now, for sure. No PS6. Sony really fucked up this year, for sure. I'm only doing battle rate cuss anyway, but anyways. Sony effed up this year, guys. Seriously. I'm sure Demon already started today to play as well, and I'm sure he was disappointed. He should be disappointed, the word for that. That should be frustration. Because Hayden Herman, well, I'm going to say Hayden Herman House, and the Asian CEO that he's working with currently, the two CEOs that we're working with currently, Herman Host and the agency. I know his name, I forgot his name. Okay, his name is hard to pronounce. I said that in my first video, obviously. His name is hard to pronounce because he's Asian, but anyways, Herman Host, and the agency that he's working with currently. Now they're taking even more heat now as we speak since that state of play already went out. Already no, no first party. That's not looking good for Sony right now. Sony is done. They could be the second industry to lead the console industry since Nintendo. That's just me though. So it's down to Xbox One or Nintendo Switch for me. And I have to make this. And now decision time comes up October 31st. Decision time. The holidays are coming. But anyways. No first parties. All they showed was second parties and third parties and remakes and reboots. And Ghost of Yang, continuation from Ghost of Yang Part 1, Ghost of Yang Part 2, but they called it Ghost of Yang for this one. I figured they would change the name for that one. But anyways. So it's down to Xbox One and Nintendo Switch for me, guys, as well. I never got F Sony. Now, Sony is done, and I told them on in my first 2 videos earlier this morning that while I go back to Sony, if it's too much turmoil, I know they're all saying, fanboy, not too much, this one, I can't stand it. I said, well, the state of play was a frustration for anybody that was hardcore or trivia hardcore, obviously. And the damn scalpers with that PS5 Pro, they pushed it up to $5,000. It's $700 right now, but by the time it's sold, it's going to be $5,000 by then. It won't be low until probably to the year after next when it becomes a year old. Because PS5 Pro comes out November 7th. Next November 7th, 2020 will be marked the 1 year anniversary when it came out. But anyways, it's not looking good for Sony, guys. It's not looking good for Sony. Sony can be out in the console industry. And not only that, it's not looking good for Sony. Sony is in absolute deep waters. This is the ultimate payback. I was saying that in all my videos, even on Raise Power 8. You know, that's what the ultimate payback for what Sony did and Jim Ryan did. And I forced Jim Ryan to retire pretty much. Now, Jim Ryan shouldn't question me about these console wars ever again. He shouldn't question me. We should talk about it though, but he shouldn't question me and debate me because I got all the reliable sources. I know they don't say you're fanboy, too much, I can't stand it. I said, well, they don't show no showcase at the end of this year before the year is out. By the time the last first party comes out, October 25th, Sonic Shadow Generations comes out. That's it for Sony. Sony is done, man. But you buck it or not, they want to. Cousin that's in this house, man. They don't got the first parties. And without those first parties, Sony is an absolute dumpster fire. Without question. It's not looking good for Sony right now. This is really not looking good for Sony right now. This is not good. This is The worst console, like they showed this state of play for the second, well, nearly 4 months later. I was the second state of play 4 months later. Obviously, this was the worst console generation, not just ever, period, of my opinion, that I've ever seen. As far as the console being the worst generation, this console was the worst generation, and this console gen was the worst series ever, in my opinion. And I mean ever, because the two state of plays were garbage. Well, one was better, but this other one from May was garbage. May was garbage, and the one from September was terrible. No first parties until May, obviously. So it's down to me to get Xbox One or Nintendo Switch. I had to make that decision. And this all comes down to the vendors I'm getting it from, either from Poshmark or eBay. And it comes down to the vendors. I already did the research on the vendors are pretty good. The vendors are pretty good. So it's either Nintendo Switch off of eBay or Xbox One off of Poshmark. If I get anyone, it's a right for Sony regardless. Because they don't have the first party. And without the first party, Sony is done. No PS6 for sure. Means the PS5 Pro Pop in the 30th anniversary edition console and the PS5 Pro console, the regular standard, and the third would be the last two consoles for sure. Final two consoles for sure. I'm almost 100% sure. I'm not gonna say a fanboy, I have all these reliable sources because I watched the streams and then I also listen to these podcasts on Spotify too. If my cousin's asking that question, and I got all on my pay stubs. On my which comes when I made my purchase for those games, I was mainly purchasing the games for John and me, but mainly John. I was in, he would play them right away. Anyways, this is not looking good for Sony, guys. Not looking good for Sony. This is sad for Sony right now. Very sad for Sony right now. Disappointed is not the word. They said somebody. It was one of the podcasts I was watching earlier. I was Dirk Gritty's podcast. Somebody gave the state of play a 10 out of 10. I said, how you gonna get the state of play as 10 out of 10? And no, they didn't have the first parties. And the person that Dirk Gritty, one of my wrongs was Dirk Gritty called him an idiot. And then Ray called the other source I also follow on YouTube, I think, as well. Called him an idiot, typically material, because he's just a typical fanboy that would give everything a perfect rating because of all the games he obviously played. Which was sad. And I even agreed with Dirk Gritty and Ray that fanboy was an idiot. That gave that rating a 10, that state of play a 10 out of 10. That was just dumb. And he probably gave it a 10 out of 10 because he only gave it a 10 out of 10 because of the controller and the Lego Fortnite and Ghost of Yang. You know, about the next samurai pretty much. So this is real, this is real. So like I said, I thank Dirk Riggin for calling out that fanboy, PlayStation fanboy for real. And Ray too, shout out to them too as well. Calling out that fanboy because that fanboy was an idiot to give him a 10 out of 10 for that showcase. That was 5 out of 10. That was heaven and hell. That's just my honest opinion on that. That was heaven and hell. Because the May state of play was a 2 out of 10 for me because they didn't show the first part still in that state of play either. And still no showcase. Not looking good for Sony, guys. Not looking good for Sony. This could be the end of Sony after they make the PS5 Pro 30th anniversary. No, it's going to be expensive as hell. And the PS1, those are the last two consoles for sure. No PS6. Because OJ Marlon said this is not fair. Not saying he said that, but saying this is not fair. I know what you did. You're part of the problem, guys. I said, I know I'm bad on it, but I was able to roll the console and solve it and roll it all day. I went behind the scenes and investigated what Jim Wright was doing behind the scenes long before his retirement. Before I forced him into retirement, pretty much. So like I said, guys, this is the end of Sony. As we know, Sony could be the second industry to leave out of the console industry since Nintendo. But they had when some of their consoles were successful, some of their consoles failed. The only ones that did not fail was Switch and the Wii. The Wii might have failed, but it had great games, but it failed obviously. So a lot of people did get not buying the units for the console per se as well. But the Wii and Switch succeeded. And that's even with their other additions for their bundles as well, succeeded. And Xbox One, and Xbox One X, John's current Xbox One X, and the one I'm getting on October 31st. Once I make the decision time comes on October 31st, Xbox One from 2014, Nintendo Switch, the bundle that was already going to either the Lite or the ACR one. That was for that original price, which is $50. It went from $60 down to $50, but the shipping hiked up slowly. It went from $7 to $13. One of the bundles I already have in my watch list, and the other one is at $7 shipping, which is not bad. That's minimal shipping. And then the other one, bundle I was looking into for Nintendo Switch, that was still the same shipping. It was $6. But the other one I was looking into, the bundle was 13. They hyped it up, but the price went down from 69 to 59, down to 49. So it went down by $20. But anyways, so decision time comes about October 31st. So like I said, Xbox One, Xbox One X, and Series S and X was ahead of its time. Foster consoles were ahead of its time, better than PS5 for sure, in my opinion. Cause they had all the first parts. They got all the first parts now. They got all the first part and the second part. I just had to buy the retros and indies, and the other two Batman games, and then Batman Arkham Origins I had to buy. They'll be the only game I had to buy physically because that's a backwards compatible game. Obviously, I had to buy that. Then I'll have all four Batman games in my collection. All the first three, I'm gonna have the other one is already freaking Game Pass. The other track, the Arkham trial, the Arkham double bundle I had to buy, and Batman Arkham Origins, the one in 2012, the physical disc I had. But it'll be the only physical game I have on disc, pretty much. But anyways, decision time comes on October 31st. Decision time. But anyways, did I call it right, John? Did I call it right? Obviously as well, and John, and obviously as well. They had no first parties. They didn't show the first one, and I knew they wasn't going to show them because Microsoft owns them now, and their Game Pass Ultimate exclusive. Now, that's what I said to my cousin a while ago. We need to talk about this right now because this is the worst console generation ever in the history of gaming ever. They might make it. They already made a documentary on this. They're about to make a documentary on Jim Ryan soon enough, and Herman Holtz soon enough, and then they already made a documentary, The Console Wars. But that was the one from 2020 and 2021 and 2022. I think they made three different documentaries, including from 2019 as well. This one would defy the new era documentary. So if you see the documentary, the console one, watch that. Watch that documentary. It would say it all about Herman Holtz and Jim Ryan. Once they make that documentary, watch it. Watch it because I'm watching it. I have to watch the other three first. Documentary trip to realize what I did for all the console wars. But anyways. So Xbox One from 2014 and Xbox One X from 2017 was way ahead of its time. Still the best console to have for me, pretty much, because the Xbox One 20. That's the one I'm getting off of Porsche. Or Nintendo Switch off of eBay. If that one is sold out by the vendor, there's down on Nintendo Switch. But if I get either one, either way, whatever vendor, I get it from either Porsche or eBay. It's a wrap for Sony regardless. No first party. I was able to solve the console ones as well. I know my cousins. My cousin's gonna say, Xbox, you know too much, you know too much. I'm trying to I know all this stuff out because I had the source, I had the pay stuff saying when I was paying for the games, obviously you wasn't playing them right away. John was playing them right away. Even I bought the RPGs for him as well. So like I said, John's truly hardcore and streaming. He's in the E and the T category because he played 30 of the 37 studios. I played 15 of the 37, counting the retros and indies and the Batman games and the Mortal Kombat games. And Capcom games, playing the Count Devil May Cry as well. Just that might not get it on Microsoft this time around. Unless it's already free, also on Game Pass. We'll see if it's free on Game Pass. If not, that's good for me because I can play those right away. But anyways, it's down to Xbox One. Well, Nintendo Switch for me, the October 31st is my decision time. The holidays are coming. Black Friday is coming. And Thanksgiving is coming. But anyways, so it's down to Xbox One from 2014 or Nintendo Switch. The bonus I was already looking to, but one of the bonus I looked into was shipping hyped up for that one, but the other ones are still low. But the price went down to $49.99 for the Nintendo Switch. Indeed. Or the Xbox One from 2024. Indeed. I sort of got to make it the true decision. True decision is not easy. So yeah, like I said, guys, Sony here. No first parties, all remakes and reboots. Even on the PS5 Pro, they're going to probably port those to PS5 because they're remakes and reboots. And I told him all this, and I say this, I'll say this again. And I say this to my cousin too as well. But out of the first party, Sony is in deep Sony is in deep We need to talk to cousin Ken about this. We got time because John's off Saturday and Sunday. So we can talk about it before you go back to work on the weekend as well. For a little bit, obviously. And we can just talk about the rest of it once you get now. Once we can talk about the rest of it once we be off again next Tuesday, Wednesday, the following Tuesday, Wednesday, upcoming. But anyways, like I said, Sony doesn't have the first parties now, for sure. And everybody said, where's the showcase? And I said, probably going to be no showcase because they had 2 state of plays. That's all they had. They had, no, how many state of plays? I think they had 3 state of plays, I think. Quote me on that. I could be wrong. I know they had 2 this year. It could have been 3. I think the first state of play was in January, if I remember correctly. But anyways, it's not looking good for Sony right now. Not looking good. Because without those first parties, man, Sony is in deep, and I mean deep, so much deep, it's not funny. They're not going to be able to bail themselves out of this anytime soon, bro. For sure, indeed, man. But okay, guys, I'll end the video right there. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. Add me on Facebook. More bills are coming today. If not today, tomorrow. That's if I'm up to make those next videos, obviously. If not tomorrow, I'll make more bills. 3 more bills will be coming on. Talking about the result, part 2 of the state of play. That will come, if not tonight, tomorrow. Just wanted to make this video. I just wanted to watch the state of play first because I was just finished eating dinner. But anyways, make sure you add me on PSN. Follow me on Microsoft. Add me on Microsoft as well. I'll accept your close friend requests. If not, as long as you're not a troublemaker, pretty much. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. Add me on Facebook as well. Make sure you add me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram as well. I told you all my Instagram names on all 4 of my Instagram accounts on my videos so far. It's WWE Legend 2, Strongly Winland, Hachikanami, and my new merge and meta one, and Facebook one, Kyle Hudson on that one. Make sure you follow all 4 of my Instagram accounts. Make sure you follow me on Facebook and add me on Facebook. I'll set the friend request as long as you're not a troublemaker, pretty much. Add me on PSN, that's for Glory 2, Furry Kingdom, Masagao, He, She, 4, Chun-Li, He, She, 71064. I'll set your close friend request 2 on that too, as long as you're not a troublemaker, pretty much. But you have me on Xbox as well, I'll have Xbox One soon enough, guys. October 31st. Cannot wait, cannot wait. One time was cannot wait. I had to make that decision, but anyways. Add me on Xbox, Darker Way 66, Apple 4859, and Hutch Xbox as well. But okay, guys, I end the video right there. That was my recap from the state of play today as well. After seeing it, obviously. More bills will be coming today. If not today, tomorrow. That's if I'm not tired, obviously. If the bills don't come today, they'll come tomorrow. Then I can do my daily recaps for the rest of my content later on during this week, and I'll give you more new content during the weekend as well. Yeah. Yep. Deuces.